Hello and welcome back to Love at First Sight. Monday, the beginning of school week. I normally have to drag myself out of the house, my brain heavy with gloom and drowsiness, but today I'm feeling a little different as I walk down the street. Usually I make a beeline towards school, but instead I'm straying from my normal path to take another nearby street there. It's not like it's a big loss of time, but since the fastest way to school is to go straight ahead from my house, I don't usually use this road. Of course, it's not like I'm just choosing to go this way for no reason. I can go faster if I take the streets without many people on them. And of course, even if it's unlikely, I thought that if I go this way, I might... As I walk on, I see a figure ahead of me. The torn uniform, the messy hair, the slim build, and of course, the bandages on her head. There's no mistaking who it is in front of me, Sachi. I speed up to catch her and nudge her shoulder. Hey, morning. Sachi turns toward me with a startled look on her face. No doubt from my sudden appearance. I guess I should have expected that kind of reaction. Mamoru-senpai, why are you here? Sorry for sneaking up on you. My house is right near here. I mentioned that, didn't I? The route I normally take is just one street over. Oh, really? Yep, and I took this street hoping I'd see you. I didn't think I'd actually would, though. Do you mind if I walk to school with you? No. It doesn't really show in her expression, but I think I hear a little excitement in her voice. Might just be my imagination, though. How was your weekend? Did you read some of the manga I lent you? Oh yes, I already finished parts of the 2 series you lent me. Both of them are really good. Her tone is uncharacteristically lively. She's wearing a cheerful expression I've never seen until now, but her good mood kind of rubs off on me too. I'm glad then. I thought I should return the books I'm already finished with, so I brought them with me today. I said you could take your time, didn't I? Are you sure? Of course. What should I give you next? Oh, actually, which of those did you like best? Both were good, but I liked this one the best. The one with the boy who can see ghosts. As we continue walking and talking about manga contents, the school comes into view. Sachi has been fairly talkative on the way here, holding an actual conversation with me. Carrying all that manga for her was definitely worth it if it made her that happy. We're already here, huh? I usually walk to school alone, but this is more fun. Yeah. While we were walking, she was still keeping her eye out for people, but I noticed that she was mostly focusing on me. As we entered the school where there are prying eyes, however, she starts keeping her head down and walking on the side of the path to try and stay out of sight. Isn't there at least some way I can help her feel more comfortable? If I have time, I think I'll take the same street again today. If you're lucky, maybe we can go home together again, as long as you don't mind, that is. I don't mind or anything. I like being able to talk with you, senpai. Really? I'm glad to hear it. Oh, I need to change my shoes. 1 sec. Right, me too. Looking ahead, Sachi suddenly slows her pace and hides behind me as much as she can, like she's trying to disappear. I shift my gaze in the direction she was looking and see a lone girl passing in front of the first-year shoe rack. Her hair is dyed blonde and she's wearing a short skirt. Even though we're a ways away from her, I can see the sour look on her face. What, is that the Sarakawa chick? I can read. I ask this quietly as I look over my shoulder while still trying to keep Sachi hidden. You know her? No, I've only heard rumors about her. As I'm working out how to talk about this with Sachi, the bell rings. The girl who I'm pretty sure is Sarakawa hears it and heads to her class. It's a good thing we weren't in a hurry. We just barely missed her, as it is. It looks like she's already gone, Sachi. You need to get going too, don't you? Sachi probably doesn't want to continue this line of conversation. I make sure Sarakawa is definitely gone, and with a sigh of relief, nod to Sachi. Oh, yeah, right. Let me join you for lunch again. See you later. Okay, see you. So, that was the infamous Sarakawa, Ryu, huh? Since I've never actually talked to her, I can't say for sure, but I can tell just from looking at her that she has an aggressive personality. Making friends with Sachi is good and all, but I should probably find out what I can about Sarakawa as well. Oh, you can hear my keyboard. No, you can't. Morning classes are over, but that won't stop Miko from saying hi. And it's lunchtime now. However, it's only Tomo and me in an empty classroom today. I had a plan at asking Tomo about Sarakawa based on how scared Sachi was just from trying to see her. There's no doubt in my mind that Sarakawa is the one bullying her. Wait, where's Akemi? She had some business in the faculty room. She should be here soon. I see, perfect. Before she gets here, there's something I wanted to ask you. What's up? Well, first, if we only have until Akemi comes back, I probably won't be able to get into detail about much. I wanted to know about the girl you mentioned before, the first-year student, Sarakawa. As soon as we started talking about her, Akemi got really quiet, so I figured I'd better ask when she's not around. You said you've met her in the past? That's what you want, huh? Well, it's not like it's a secret. I suppose we met her 2 years ago when Akemi and I were in our last year of middle school. Sarakawa transferred into our school. Since we were in different grades, we didn't meet her right away, but even back then she seemed like a violent person. Rumors soon made their way toward us. Then Akemi, with her motto of time being love and peace, went and tried to rehabilitate her. Somehow I'm not surprised. Well, I didn't say that she succeeded. Sarakawa made fun of her mercilessly, but even still, Akemi refused to give up. That girl's so damn stubborn. It finally ended when the two got in a nasty fight. No one told them to stop? Well, I rushed to intervene, but it's not like Akemi just stood there and took Sarakawa's blows. It looked like Akemi lost her cool, and she fought Sarakawa with everything she had. It was not something I was expecting from her. What happened to her? It was not just a simple squabble. Akemi always had good reflexes, and Sarakawa seemed to have had a lot of experience in fights. They kicked and punched, and naturally, when they started using their knees and elbows, I had to stop them. I never would have guessed Akemi would be able to fight. Yeah, girls like that can. Even I didn't know she could, and I've known her for a long time. I saw a side of her I never knew existed that day. Did Sarakawa say something to make Akemi so angry? Really, I think that when Sarakawa punched her the first time, she flipped a switch inside Akemi. I guess when Akemi snapped, she really snapped. So after the fight, Akemi became really depressed and was totally a different person for a while. Because she didn't win? If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't because she lost. Rather, I think the fact that she couldn't change Sarakawa came as a huge shock to her. What do you mean? Akemi is really good at becoming friends with people. You have noticed that, haven't you? Yeah? No matter how gloomy or rebellious a person is, or how different their interests are to Akemi's, she always finds something to be friendly about. But Sarakawa was not having any of that. After that day, whenever she got depressed, it was because she had to come in contact with Sarakawa again. I'm having a fight with a red ant during this recording. That's also surprising. Akemi always seems like the type to look forward no matter what. Well, the old Akemi was a real wimp. At least, if she could try and make up with Sadako at some point, I think that might have cheered her up, but those two are like oil and water. I can't force her to do that. No one can. Suppose it's best to not talk about Sadako in front of her then. Sarakawa. Unless her brain Unless she brings it up herself, then yeah, I think that's wise, at least until she's a change of heart. I think Akemi will find her own way to deal with it. You think so? Yeah, it seems like you might want to ask around about Sarakawa and Sachi's relationship. If you want, I could try asking around, see what people say. Recent information about Sarakawa might be more use to you than information about her past. Really? Yeah, that would be really useful information to have. I appreciate your help. I guess both of us were helping Sachi out in our own ways. Even if Tomo's not directly involved, I know I can rely on him for this, especially since he has a lot more connections than I do. Kemi and I were gathering any info we hear. Sarakawa doesn't seem to be as violent as she was before, but it doesn't seem like Sachi-chan is asking for help either. Plus, I think Sarakawa is the only one bullying Sachi-chan. One victim and one tormentor. That wouldn't stand out too much. Most of the students outside of their classes probably don't know anything about it. Whatever the other students and the teachers think, I doubt they know the whole story. Even if they suspect what's going on, they'll most likely turn a blind eye to it, since no one wants to get involved in that. Bitches. So in other words, as it stands, no one's going to lift a finger to help Sachi. Precisely. Well then, if no one else is involved, resolving this shouldn't be too hard. However, the other students think of Sachi. I'm pretty sure they'll turn as a blind eye to you helping her, as they have to Sadako abusing her, Sarakawa abusing her. If Sarakawa's the only one bullying her, I think I should be able to get her to stop. That's assuming she doesn't have any friends in on it with her, of course. You probably could, but I doubt it'll go smoothly either way. Sachi has me and I have you guys. We'll definitely work something out. I hope so. Sorry I'm late, guys. Akemi calls out as she barges into the room, her loud voice disturbing the calm of the classroom. I'm starving. Wait, you two haven't eaten yet? Could it be that you were waiting for me? Oh, right, I forgot about my lunch. So you weren't waiting for me then? What should I do? If I take my time eating now, I won't have time to go see Sachi. Why don't you eat over there? You've become good enough friends with her, haven't you? But Akemi just got here. I was late today, so don't worry about it. Just hurry up and introduce me to Sa-chan already. Fine, I get it, but thanks for everything, guys. Everything? Akemi, who hasn't been part of the conversation until now, tilts her head in confusion. Yeah, everything. Anyway, I'm going. Hey. Oh, Mamoru-senpai, hello. Since I didn't eat part of my lunch, I was able to meet Sachi a little earlier than last time. As I arrived, I see something unexpected. At first, she's surprised to see me, but then her surprise soon becomes joy as a smile begins to bloom on her face. Until now, she's always had a downcast look about her. Does that smile mean she likes hanging out with me? I didn't manage to eat lunch before I came. Do you mind if I eat here? I don't mind. It's fine. Once again, I sit down in the same place on the steps. Sachi, where's your lunch? Oh, I already put away my lunchbox. I don't believe you. For some reason, she looks away from me as she replies. Lunch break only started a little while ago, so it wouldn't be strange if she's still eating when I got here, but I don't see her lunchbox anywhere. She is, however, holding one of the manga I let her borrow and seems to have been rereading it. I start to feel a little uneasy. Even if she finished eating, she should still have her lunchbox around at least. Where's your lunchbox? Oh, actually, I forgot my lunchbox today. Ah, now I'm starting to understand. I'm also starting to understand that she's a terrible liar. Was it that Sarakawa girl? Huh? Why? Bingo! What happened? Well... I wait for an answer, but none comes. It seems she doesn't want to talk about it. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but you haven't had anything for lunch, right? As I study Sachi's troubled face, I realize she thinks I'm blaming her. That'll make it harder to deal with. I can tell from Sachi's reaction that Sarakawa's name at whatever happened is definitely that girl's fault. Of course, even if she tells me what happened, it's not like I can do anything about it right now. I should worry about what's going on in front of me. No, but I'm really fine. I wasn't that hungry anyway, and I usually don't eat that much in the first place. That's not really the issue, though. Can't you buy something at the cafeteria? I can lend you some money if you need it. You don't... It's fine. I'm okay, really. For once, Sachi actually has some force in her voice. Since she's refusing to let me buy her lunch, she probably won't let me give her any part of my lunch either, but... Alright, wait. I've got my lunch. Do you want to eat some of that? No, you really don't have to. I said it's fine. I don't eat too much either, and besides, sitting here next to you and eating while you watch would be really rude, even if you don't want any food for yourself. I move next to Sachi and open my lunchbox. For a moment, I worry that she'll try to avoid me like she did the first time I sat next to her, but she doesn't do anything like that. She just looks a little uneasy. Are you sure? She still seems reluctant, but as she turns to face me, her stomach gets out a pitiful growl. I know she's just trying to be polite, but she really can't hide how hungry she is anymore. Just ignore that, She hangs her head, ashamed of her rumbling stomach, but she's still not ready to give in. I know she's not going to relent on her own. So I pick up a small piece of fried egg out of my lunchbox with my chopsticks and hold it up to her mouth. Come on, you're hungry, right? Huh? Wait, Say Sachi looks back and forth between my face and the chopsticks as several seconds pass, but sure enough, she soon surrenders and opens her mouth. There. I stuff a light piece of egg into her mouth, and she starts chewing, her eyes shut tight. Do you like it? Yeah. Great. Next one, open. I present the next bite I've gathered between my chopsticks to her. That's enough. I don't want you to have less food because of me. It's really no big deal. Well, As I watch Sachi meekly peck at the ends of my chopsticks, I start to feel like a mother bird feeding its chick or something. I can't help but think it's a little cute. That's enough, really. Open wide. I almost feel like someone else is controlling my hand. Not that I'm about to stop them. You could at least let me eat by... I'm sure this is embarrassing for her. As I keep making her eat, I notice that her cheeks are getting redder and redder. She's so damn cute. I've already eaten half of your lunch. The rest is yours. She finally says, staring down at her hands. Sure enough, only half of my lunch is left. I suppose so. You sure you don't want any more? Just eat your lunch. Sachi turns her flushed face away from me. Maybe I overdid it? Sorry, I got carried away. No, it's alright. I was happy that you fed me for some of your lunch. Wait, I mean, not literally fed me. I mean, I was happy you shared your lunch with me. It's okay, I understand. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything. I know, anyway, thank you very much. Of course, no problem. Suppose I'll clean up the rest. As I'm about to start on what's left in my lunchbox, Sachi stares at the chopsticks. Oh. I should have realized sooner, but the chopsticks I'm about to eat with are the same ones I've been using just a moment ago to put food directly into Sachi's mouth. Sorry, I forgot. That would have been kinda gross, huh? No, I don't really mind, but if you think it's gross, it might be best to wash them. Don't worry about me, though. I don't really care either. Actually, if you're okay with me using them, I'm gonna go ahead and eat. Sure. This has gotten a little awkward. I eat my food and try not to think about it too much. Even though I'm trying to focus on eating, I keep catching myself stealing glances at Sachi out of the corner of my eye. Sachi opens one of the manga as if to read it, but I notice that for some reason her eye stays fixed on me as I eat my lunch. Whenever I look over at her, our eyes meet. Her cheeks are still red. Is she still embarrassed about me feeding her, or is there some other reason? Either way, it's getting really hard to focus on eating. Okay, I'm done. And as if on cue, the bell rings, marking the end of lunchtime. Already, huh? I guess we did take a while to eat. I guess so. Oh, let me give you back the manga I borrowed. I brought all the ones I finished. Cool. I'll pick up the next one in the series for when I see you again. Thank you. I gather up my empty lunchbox and manga and start heading down the stairs to my classroom as Sachi follows me. Hey, why don't we walk home together again after school, if it's not too much trouble for you? I mean, it's nice to have a friend who lives nearby. Sure, I'd be happy to. Her face lights up with genuine excitement, even though we've only known each other for about a week. I don't know how we ended up doing things like going to and from school and eating lunch together, but if it makes Sachi happy, why should I care how it happened? Most of all, if being together makes her happy, then I'm happy too. School's almost over. As I return to my class after lunch, I realize something. I'm happy that we promised to go to home together, but we never chose a place to meet before we parted ways. If I wait by the gates, like last time, she'll probably come by, but Sarakawa might also be around. Maybe I should take a peek into their classroom instead? And as I'm trying to decide, the bell rings, finally signaling the end of the day's classes. I take my bag and hurry towards Sachi's classroom. I rush down the stairs, but as I reach the first floor, I can see that the first years are already filing out into the hall, and I quicken my pace towards Sachi's classroom. In the moment I step in front of one of the classroom doors, someone flies out into me. The impact knocks us both off balance, and just as she's about to go down, I reflexively reach out and catch her. Everything okay? Excuse me, senpai? The student who just flew into my arms, and who I am now holding on to tightly, is none other than Sachi. We stare at each other in astonishment. Then I see another student behind Sachi, who is also looking on in astonishment. Sarakawa Ryu. Did she push Sachi out the door? Now I know she's the reason Sachi had no lunch today. Sarakawa's surprised expression turns angry. She glares at me menacingly as she starts to speak. Who the hell are you, some upperclassman? Yep, second year. But she doesn't let this get in her way of her anger. Oh, really? Then what are you doing in the first year floor? I came to see Sachi. For a moment, Sarakawa looks surprised again as she sizes up the two of us. Sachi regains her balance as she separates herself from me. Then she takes a step back, retreating from Sarakawa's presence. She's not trying to run away, though. Is it because I'm here? Her eye darts back and forth nervously. Are you starting a freak show, senpai? If you think it's okay to force your friends into freak shows, you're really messed up. That's really pitiful. The girl's more prickly than I imagined. Naturally, my insult just annoys her more. I'm not sure if it's actually got to her or not, but she pins a hostile glare on me. Oh yeah, well excuse me. She really doesn't have any talent. You know what? Oh yeah, well excuse me. She really doesn't have any talents to display, and dressing her up as a clown would only disgust people, of course. You're right. The insincerely polite words of Sarakawa spits at me are dripping with venom and malice. If this is what made Akemi snap, I don't blame her. I think she's more suited to the role of a heroine than a clown. Her? At best, this one-eyed thing that looks like it's stepped out of its fairy tale will become some wretched beggar on the streets. Yeah, maybe she did step out of a fairy tale. If I had to guess, I'd say it was Cinderella. She's definitely plagued by something like an evil stepsister. You know that story, don't you? Oh, that's a good joke. But if you're casting parts, I think I'd rather be the fairy godmother who turns the pumpkin into a carriage. Making Cinderella get run over by her carriage would be a pretty neat twist, don't you think? Our verbal duel continues for a while. She is wearing a vicious grin on her face, but the fire in her eyes grows hotter and hotter, and I can feel the heat in her stare. I refuse to look away, however, and it feels like the friction of our clashing gazes might set the whole hallway ablaze. Senpai? Sachi tugs at my sleeve, pulling me back into reality. Several students seem to have gathered around to watch our fight. Here I am, a lone second-year student, in front of the first-year classroom, completely out of place. I should not be drawing this much attention to myself. Sorry, let's go, Sachi. I take Sachi's hand and turn my back to Sarakawa. I'm still pissed, and I want to turn around and go after her again, but Sarakawa stays quiet. Sorry about that just now. I really made a fool of myself. We leave the school at a hurried pace, but once we're outside of the gates and start heading home, we slow down a bit. No, it's okay. You caught me right when I fell, and you protected me from Sarakawa-san. Thank you for that. Hey, it's probably none of my business, but if you're having trouble and you need help, you can ask me anytime. Thank you? Sachi replies after a short pause, looking somewhat puzzled. We might have become friends, but I guess we're not close enough for her to be comfortable trusting me with that sort of thing yet. You know, anything you need, I just want to help. Okay. By the way, if you like the books I gave you, I have some more from that author. Oh, really? I changed the subject to a lighter topic. Going home together should be more fun than this. At the very least, I want to see her smile more while we're together. I think those are the ones I should lend you next. Do you want to read them? Sure, that sounds great. I look forward to it. Seeing eye to eye. So that will be the next episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this. And if you want to support the channel, you can become a member wherever you're watching. Or you can join the Patreon or Subscribe Star. You guys are awesome as always. And say it in the comments. Sachi best girl. And what would you guys do to Sarakawa if you had a chance? I'll see you next time. Bye.